What's up everyone, and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock Redstone tutorial. In this episode, we're going to be looking at how to make an automated potion brewer. It is one wide, works in both Java and Bedrock, and you can tile it next to each other. I'll also show you how to make an automated water bottle collector, and I'll talk a little bit about the mechanics behind making automated brewing stands. For this automated brewing stand, you load all the items into the cell for a specific potion, and then whenever you press the button, it will brew 3 of those potions. This video was requested by Yasufumi the Best. Thank you so much for leaving a comment, and thank you for requesting. I'm always happy to help. But really quick, let's talk about the mechanics behind the brewing stand. So a hopper can push items into the brewing stand or pull items out of it. The top hopper will load ingredients into the brewing stand, the side hopper will load either fuel or water bottles, and the bottom hopper will pull water bottles or potions out of the brewer. One unfortunate thing is that the bottom hopper will actually pull water bottles out of the brewer before they turn into potions. And not even a comparator can notice when a brewing stand is brewing. So really, you have to lock the bottom hopper using either a timer or an item sorter mechanic or something like that so that it doesn't pull the potions out before they are actually brewed. In my opinion, it would be really nice if the brewing stand emitted a redstone signal while it was brewing a potion. That way, it would automatically lock all the hoppers to prevent any nonsense from happening. But of course, there are ways around this, like this design uses an item sorter basically to lock the bottom hopper if it notices that there are ingredients waiting to be brewed. Now, one thing I don't like about this style of design, it is automated, but it just keeps going forever and ever and ever. Its main purpose is to fill up an entire chest full of potions, and it can get a little awkward if you're not using it to make tons and tons of potions. So instead, I really like this style of auto brewers. The droppers shoot the ingredients into a hopper line, the bottom hopper just stays locked until you manually press the button. Once you press the button, it will drain the 3 potions that it had brewed, and it will start automatically brewing 3 more. I really do like this style the best. It being tileable is also nice, being one wide, and really, I've never really run into many situations where I need like full chestfuls of potions. So this is the one that I'm going to tutorial out for you today. But first, let's take a look at how to automatically fill up water bottles. So if you use a dispenser full of glass bottles and point it into a water source, it will actually fill those glass bottles up with water. So if you simply attach a clock to the dispenser, it will just start spitting out water bottles. Now, of course, you can make an automated collection system too, so that you can turn it on, maybe set your ingredients or something or whatever, and then come back and you will have a full chest of water bottles in no time. I will tutorial this out really quick, it doesn't take very long at all, but also if you want to skip to the auto brewer, I'll be sure to include timestamps so that you can easily navigate the video. So for the automated water bottle dispenser, start off by placing a chest in the ground and then place a hopper in the back of that chest. Make sure that that hopper is going into that chest, and you can always add more chests if you want more water bottle storage, totally up to you. But then get glass and place 3 glass blocks surrounding that hopper, then place a dispenser facing the hopper, place a water bucket in here, and then place a piece of glass on top of the water like so. Now grab your solid blocks and place 4 solid blocks behind that dispenser, place a comparator and then 3 redstone dust, and make sure that comparator is on subtraction mode. That's very important. Then place a solid block touching that comparator with a lever on it, and you're done. Now you just need to load your glass bottles into the dispenser, and it doesn't matter how many glass bottles you put in there. You can put a stack or you could fill it completely up, totally up to you, it'll work just the same. But that's it for the water bottle collector. So now let's start building the auto brewer. Again, this is the one we're going to be building right here. It is one wide and totally tileable. And this is all the stuff you will need to build it, down in my hotbar. You only need 1 button. For some reason I have 2 buttons, an extra button snuck in there. And this iron block is just solid blocks of your choice. It can be any block that you want it to be. The build area is going to be 6 deep and 1 wide. And again, this is tileable, so you can build as many of them next to each other, touching each other, just like you see here. But once you know where you're going to build it, start off by placing a solid block with a button on it. This is going to be how you activate the machine. Then turn to the side and place a chest on top with another chest attached to that. You could always just make that a single chest if you want to. I just made it a double chest sideways in case you wanted to tile it. But then you're going to place a redstone torch on the back of that block with 2 repeaters on maximum delay coming out of that redstone torch. Then you're going to place a hopper going into your chest, and then you're going to place the brewing stand on top of this hopper. And then grab your solid blocks and place a solid block at the end of those repeaters with a redstone torch on the side. Then you're going to place a solid block above that torch, another torch on the side of that, another block on top of that, and you're going to keep working your way up until you have placed 4 blocks with 4 torches. The reason we're using so many torches is to make it tileable, but then we're going to place a solid block above that second repeater with a repeater on maximum delay pointing toward the brewing stand with a hopper in front of that repeater pointing into the brewing stand. Make sure that hopper is pointing into the brewing stand, and then we're going to place a double chest on top of that hopper. That is where your water bottles are going to be stored. But then we're going to place a temporary block on top of that chest, and then 5 droppers facing the front on top of that temporary block. These droppers are going to hold the ingredients for your brewing, but if you know what potion you're going to be making, you can match the number of droppers to the number of ingredients that potion requires. 5 is just the maximum number of ingredients, so we'll do 5 for the tutorial. But then break out your temporary block and place a hopper going down into the brewing stand, and then we're going to alternate placing chest and hoppers going up until we've reached the top of the dropper line. So if you're using 5 droppers, you should have 3 chests and 4 hoppers. Just like so. You'll also have to crouch to place the hoppers and chest on top of each other, just in case you didn't know, but then come around to the back and place a solid block above that torch, and then another torch on the front side of that block with a block above that torch, then a torch on the back of that block with a block above it, and then a torch, and we'll continue this pattern all the way up to the top of the droppers. Now, if you used less droppers, you will need less of these torches in blocks. Just make sure that the tippy top dropper has either a torch or a block next to it. And that's it for the building. Now it's ready for all the brewing items and ingredients. Just as an example, I added item frames to the side of the droppers in the chest so that you know where all your items are going to be going. For your water bottles, they go down into this double chest right here, and then all of your ingredients will go into the droppers. So always start from the bottom dropper. The bottom dropper is going to be the first ingredient that gets added to the water bottle. So for whatever potion you're trying to make, the bottom dropper is going to be the base ingredient. And then work your way up with whatever other ingredients you need to make the potion that you're trying to make. And once you get your ingredients figured out and loaded, it is now ready to go. Pressing the button will load all of the ingredients from the bottom dropper to the top dropper. And all that's left is to add your fuel. So click on your brewing stand and add your blaze powder. And don't worry about adding a bunch of blaze powder. Brewing stands are different from furnaces in that furnaces will waste extra fuel, but brewing stands will not. And that's the basics of using this machine. But before I go into more tips and tricks on tiling and other things like that, let me just say that if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think and what you would like to see in the future. It really helps my channel out, it really helps out the video, and it really makes me happy. And check the video description for a link to my Discord. I'm trying to grow a Minecraft community so that we have another place to share our builds, ask questions about Redstone, find players to play in your world, or find worlds to play in. So come talk to me in Discord. But before we end this video, I have a few more things that I would like to mention about this machine. Placing item frames on the ingredient line in front of the droppers will help you remember what potion it is and also help you remember what ingredient goes where. That way, if you ever run out of ingredients and need to restock, you know exactly where each ingredient goes. If you tile this design, restocking your ingredients is a little difficult. You know, if you tile it, then from the back, it is completely sealed off. So your choice is to either load it from the side or load it from the front. So you maybe can get creative with building a loading platform in front of the machine, especially if it's inside of your base, or you can try to load it from the side. The main problem with loading it from the side is you can't label what ingredient goes where. But you know, of course, you could always build a scaffolding thing inside the wall next to it so that you can access the droppers here. But, you know, if you want to have a label for what ingredient goes where, you're going to have to load it from the front. So you could always place, you know, temporary blocks or temporary scaffolding so that you can refill all your ingredients. Luckily, you can place up to 9 stacks of each ingredient in the droppers, so really, you know, you won't have to restock very often. Another thing to mention is that if you press the button before it's finished brewing, it will actually drain the potions before they are made. So always be sure that the potions are done brewing before you press the button. I would recommend just pressing the button as you walk by rather than when you need a potion. But that's all we got for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, share, favorite, subscribe, all of that other good stuff. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And let me know what you would like to see in the future. But until next time, I've been your host, OmLedu, hopefully teaching you a redstone trick or two. And reminding you, as always, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye.